हेलो नमस्कार दोस्तों। आज की धमाकेदार जानकारी में आप सभी लोगों का स्वागत है। कृपया करके आज की वीडियो अंत तक देखें और इसे बीच में छोड़ने की गलती न करें। आज की जानकारी बहुत ही खास होने वाली है।
Throughout the multiple seasons of The Boys, Homelander has destroyed countless lives, creating enemies across every part of the story. But with the season 5 finale releasing in just under a week, one question matters more than ever. Who actually deserves to be the one to kill him? From Soulja Boy's own father to characters like Ryan and Butcher, who have been set up as his final rivals. In today's video, I'll be ranking which characters deserve to end Homelander once and for all. First things first, I'll be explaining the tier list itself. All the way at the very top, I have those who I think would grant a perfect ending to the show. These are people who I'd be fully satisfied with killing Homelander. No issues whatsoever. Second to that is those who deserve it badly. These are people who wouldn't be quite perfect, but would still be extremely warranted in the grand scheme of things. Now, in the middle tier, I have those who would be cool. This wouldn't be my top pick for who should kill Homelander, but it wouldn't necessarily be bad whatsoever. And under that I have those who would be weird. These are people who wouldn't make much sense in terms of killing Homelander, and honestly would not satisfy me. And of course at the very bottom I have those who shouldn't kill him. These are people who don't deserve it at all in scenarios that would genuinely piss me off about the finale, making it worse than we could have ever imagined. Now to start, we have the man himself, the Peak. No cap on God, bro, honestly, if you asked me in the early seasons, I probably would have put him quite high. But with how his character has progressed, especially through season 4 and 5, I literally can't think of a worse character who could kill off Homelander. Of course, putting him in Hell Noah. This dude can't be redeemed. And quite honestly, he shouldn't be whatsoever. And I think episode 7 solidified that pretty well. He literally had the opportunity to save someone's life, and in return he would die. But of course, what does he do? He fled the scene. So, if you were to kill Homelander, not only would it be extremely unrealistic, it also wouldn't be redeeming whatsoever, because I can think of 10 other characters who are more deserving of that big moment that the series has been building towards since the very first episode. Up next, we have Sister Sage. I don't understand. He wasn't supposed to. It's impossible. You are an idiot. Now, as we saw from last episode, she's officially with the boys, meaning she's likely going to help whoever in the boys' crew is meant to kill Homelander. She'll be a key part in giving either Kimiko the Soulja Boy chest blast or engineering a plan that leads to his demise. However, honestly, her character has been done pretty badly in the past season. In season 4, I thought she was alright. But in this season, not only is she extremely dumb, but she also hasn't been doing as much as she should be with her powers, which is why I think if she killed him in the final episode, it would be extremely rushed and would have had no build-up prior, which is why I have to put her in would be very weird. She's not quite the worst possible case scenario like the Deep, but it would be something that would not satisfy me whatsoever. Next up, we have Kimiko, and this is a pretty interesting character to consider. 16-hour flight and not a peep, cause all you can say is oi oi oi, liked her better with her mouth shut. Of course, she's been a core member of the boys group since the very first season. And as we know from last episode, she's being built up to develop the Soulja Boy chest blast in order to fry the V out of Homelander's blood. And honestly, this is why I think I'd put it in would be cool. After all, Homelander did sort of kill Frenchie at the end of episode 7, so I think it'd be pretty earned if she did kill him. However, the only reason I put her in that middle tier is because they've never really had this intense rivalry. I can remember maybe one scene where they've ever been together. And it's clear that they barely know each other like Butcher and Homelander do. Even if Kimiko does get new powers, I don't think she'd come close to taking down Homelander, especially after seeing how Soulja Boy got choked out so easily by him. So, I think putting her in that tier is warranted. Before we continue, if you enjoy these videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button to try and help me get to 20K. Now, next up, we have Stan Edgar. I mean, instant karma. But now one thing that really pissed me off about him was how he switched up on the boys, and by doing so, he essentially got himself trapped by VA since the last we saw of him was in this prison cell. And of course, he doesn't have any powers. So to say he could kill Homelander is extremely unlikely, and I think it would only be done if Homelander actually lost his powers. But to be honest, even in a hand-to-hand combat between Stan Edgar and Homelander, both being powerless, I think the old guy would lose pretty easily. Unless of course he had a gun or a sort of knife. But honestly, although him and Homelander have had a bit of a rivalry in earlier seasons, I think in the past few it's really died down, which would make it very rushed and feel odd because there's been essentially no build-up. So honestly, I'm going to have to put him in would be very weird. I think he shouldn't be able to kill Homelander because after all, he sort of is like a villain, and that's not in the good sense of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. This dude's genuinely just scummy, and all he wants is money. Next up, we have the man himself, Soldier Boy. You're too weird. Stop saying that. And you're an oh god. I am God. Now, Soldier Boy is an interesting case because we've seen a lot of different contexts where either he wants to kill Homelander and others where he literally makes him immortal. In Season 3, I'm not going to lie, I thought it would have been extremely sick to see him take out his own son. I thought his character was great, and he was the highlight of that season in general. But in Season 5, the dude switches up every single damn episode. One day he's trying to help Homelander become immortal, and the next he's backtracking and doing nothing. But after being put back into that sleep chamber by Homelander in Episode 7, I think it's certain to say he'll have some sort of role in taking him down. But after all of this, I think I'd still have to put him in would be cool above Kimiko. The only reason I don't put him higher is because of how much he's been switching up. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be mad at the idea of him killing him, but I think it should have come with much more build-up prior to the finale. It wouldn't be the worst-case scenario, but I also think it wouldn't be the most satisfying ending for me personally. Now, next up, we have MM. You never told me that this one's nickname is Mother's Milk. Hey yo, what the this is once again another person without powers. So, the only situation where I could see him really killing Homelander is either he takes Compound V or Homelander gets depowered and they have to fight like regular humans. And honestly, I'm sorry to say this, but I think it would be pretty weird for him to kill him. This is only because MM and Homelander haven't had as intense of a rivalry as he's had with Soulja Boy. Instead of targeting Homelander the past few seasons, MM's biggest enemy in the entire show has been Soulja Boy because of what he did to his family. Don't get me wrong, Homelander has done a ton of bad things to his life and has quite literally ruined it, but it wouldn't feel as satisfying as MM killing Soulja Boy. This is why I put him in would be weird. It wouldn't be terrible and awful, but it'd be extremely unsatisfying because, as I'll get into, there's a bunch of other characters who are 10 times more deserving of this final fight. Next up, we have Marie Morrow from Gen V. Sir, I am. Stay back. Come on, man. That's too easy. Now, honestly, maybe I'm the minority in saying this, but I genuinely like the 2 seasons of Gen V. I thought the second one was a bit weaker, but Season 1 was genuinely good, and I thought despite being a spin-off, the boys handled it pretty well, and it didn't just feel like some cash grab. And of course, Marie Morrow was introduced as one of the most powerful supes on Earth, potentially even as powerful as Homelander himself. Of course, we saw her bring countless people back to life, and her bloodbending powers themselves are really OP. However, when it comes to killing Homelander and whether or not she deserves to do so, I think it would be pretty weird with the build-up she's been getting. And the reason why I say this is because we've only literally seen her once in the entirety of Season 5. Despite being the main character in 2 seasons of the spin-off, she was barely involved in this final season of the main show. Which is why with the lack of build-up, it wouldn't make any sense for her to kill Homelander. It's like bringing this random character from another part of this universe and saying, "Here, you get to kill the final villain who's been threatening the entire series for over half a decade." Now, if she was a main character since the first episode of the 5th season, I would honestly put her in would be cool. But considering the fact we've only seen her once and Starlight sort of hinted that she's weak for some reason, it would be completely undeserved for her. And plus, she's had no real rivalry with Homelander. She's only met him once, and the one time she met him, she was just lasered to sleep. Now, if Homelander had done something dirty to her in Gen V, then maybe I would have been like, okay, she sort of deserves it. But to be honest, Homelander has not really done anything directly to her. It's always really been the fault of VA itself. Hence why I'd keep her in the would-be weird tier. Next up, we have one of the most useless superheroes in the entire show, Starlight. We want to help. What good's all that power, Marie, if you can't control it? Now, in the first few seasons, her powers were kind of decent. We'd see how she'd be able to take on some supes, but in the past couple seasons, her powers are genuinely terrible. I thought that by the end of season 4, her being able to fly like that would signal that she's gotten a huge power upgrade. But she literally got taken down by, oh, father. One loud scream is all it took to knock her down. This is why I think if she kills him, it'd be extremely unrealistic. So, this is why I think I'd have to put her in would be weird. Although Homelander and Starlight have had really good moments before, especially in season 3 with their rivalry, in the past couple seasons, it's sort of died down. Even though there's this whole Starlight versus Homelander type of split between the population in the US, all of it is really performative. And Homelander doesn't fear and care about any whatsoever. And Starlight hasn't really been done that dirty by him. Unlike other characters, Huey is still alive. And to be honest, she's pretty lucky to be where she is right now. So, this is why I think it'd be weird. Wouldn't be satisfying whatsoever, especially considering the fact that her character has gotten barely any development in the past few seasons. Up next, we have none other than Homelander's son himself, Ryan. Look at what you made me do. My sweet, sweet boy. And honestly, I'm going to go right ahead and put him in deserved badly. Ever since the end of season 1, Ryan has been built up to be the one to take down Homelander. After all, he's the only Supe who truly matches his type of powers. He has the laser eyes, super strength, and insane durability. Sure, he might not be as strong as him, but people have been theorizing that he's been training behind the scenes, hence why we haven't seen him in a couple episodes. But this is what limits me from putting him in perfect ending. There has been legit no build-up in the past 4 episodes of the final season. I thought Ryan would be a key player in killing him. I thought that after his beat down in episode 3, he'd be with the boys in every single episode, or at the very least, we'd see what he's up to. But the dude has literally not been mentioned one single time. Sure, he's going to come back in the finale, but it's already too late. To say he's been able to get to Homelander's level of power in just a month of training, keep in mind, all by himself, not by anyone else, is incredibly unrealistic. But the only reason why I still put him in deserved badly, because he is Homelander's son. And just like Butcher and other characters, he's been done quite dirty by him. Essentially, every bad aspect of his life has come from Homelander. He was brought into a world where he just had a mom and no dad for a majority of his childhood. And when he does get a dad, he's a narcissistic psychopath who honestly doesn't really love Ryan whatsoever. Which is why I say that if he got the final blow on him, I'd honestly be cheering from my seat. However, next up is the one guy who I think would be the perfect ending, which is none other than Billy Butcher himself. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this one. But then again, I enjoy them all. The entire series essentially has been building Billy Butcher to finally killing Homelander. Homelander and Butcher have had the biggest rivalry in the entire series. The whole reason why Billy started hunting down Supes and trying to take down VA is because of what Homelander did to his wife, Becca. Butcher has been the leader of the operation since day one. Many people argue that Huey was the main character, and although in season 1 I could agree with that, Butcher has been the central component to the story in regards to Homelander, who's arguably top 3 main characters in the entire show. In season 3, when I saw them have a fight, it was truly nuts. And honestly, I want to see something like that again. I want to see them truly go at it at equal amounts of power. And I think the only way they can do this is to honestly depower both of them. Because as we know, Butcher's tentacles aren't nearly enough to take on Homelander as he just lasers them. But if both of them lose their powers, I am certain Butcher would be able to take him on one-on-one as both mortal humans. And I can just imagine a scene with his crowbar finally taking the win after all this time. After all of this, Butcher needs to be the one to put an end to him. He sacrificed his entire life to taking him down. This is literally all he's been doing for the past decade, which is why I believe he would grant the perfect ending to the show. Anyways, that's my personal opinion and tier list on who deserves to kill Homelander in the finale. Of course, there's different ways to interpret this, and I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. If I missed any characters or any aspects that I forgot, of course, be sure to tell me. As always, like and subscribe for more videos like this, and follow me on Kick for upcoming streams that you don't want to miss. Join the Discord to discuss all your favorite pieces of media. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next.
तो फ्रेंड्स, आज के लिए बस इतना ही। अगर आप चैनल पर नए हैं, चैनल पर पहली बार आए हैं, तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें इसी तरह की जानकारी देखने के लिए। इस चैनल पर प्रतिदिन इसी तरह की वीडियोस आती हैं। तो मिलते हैं और एक नए एपिसोड के साथ, तब तक के लिए नमस्कार। थैंक यू।